Hello folks, this is Alan recording a draft video, and today we're going to do a throwback draft back to where it all began. For me, that is, Guilds of Ravnica, my first expansion set and introduction to this game. Pretty fun set. War of Spark recently expired, so therefore Guilds of Ravnica just came back online for us, and still not liking the Merfolk Secret Keeper problem in Throne of Eldraine, but Guilds of Ravnica is fun, so let's begin. Alright, pack one, pick one. Was a rare, pretty bad card. Mausoleum Secrets. 2-mana instant speed. Search your library for a black card with convert mana cost less than or equal to the number of cards in graveyard. Reveal, put in your hand, then shuffle your library. I guess it's not that bad of a card if you can build around it. Of course, definitely a card that you're looking to play in Golgari. And does require you to have some stuff into the graveyard before you can actually get value out of this. So definitely a card you're looking to play in a Golgari deck. Looking at our uncommons, which ones stand out? Dimir Spybug is excellent as a powerful Dimir payoff card. The rest of these two other cards, like, they aren't great. You know, Golgari Raiders in Golgari isn't that great. Motor Hulk requires a lot of cards in your graveyard to actually be cheap, and even then it's 9 mana, so it takes a while to get there. And looking at our commons, which ones stand out? They're all just pretty okay. The best card in this pack has to be the Dimir Spybug. I could gamble on the Mausoleum Secrets, of course, but it's definitely a Golgari flavored card that is playable in the mirror and can be flexible, but I'm not really impressed by this, because you do need to make sure that you have creature cards in the graveyard. If this was any card in the graveyard and this is instant speed and you can then this will be a better card, definitely. But the fact that it only equates to it requires you to have creature cards is a totally different story that you're looking to do in mostly Golgari. So when I look at this card, it's purely green-black, and green-black isn't the best guild, to be honest. It's slightly lower in power level compared to like Boros or Dimir in the set. So I think I'm leaning toward Dimir Spybug, even if it's in two colors. I think the payoff is definitely higher, and in this set, it's definitely fine. Forcing a guild and two colors right away, simply because they're more defined and you don't have too many options besides the 4 guilds, that being Boros, Selesnya, Dimir, and Golgari. So yeah, I think I'm fine picking up a Dimir Spybug, try to force Dimir, see how it goes, instead of remaining flexible, just because it's the most powerful card in this pack with a high upside and payoff. So yeah, let's take it here. Right, any great Dimir cards? Not really. Unmoored Ego is not a card you want to be playing in Limited. It's just too much of a gamble. Looking at the uncommons, which ones stand out? I'm a big fan of Sunhome Stalwart, just an excellent 2-drop. Great in Boros and Selesnya, but mostly a Boros flavored card. Definitely sells a lot more in Boros, but regardless, just a great 2-drop in general. Smeltward Minotaur is a decent aggressive Izzet card. World Soul Colossus is a nice payoff if you're in Selesnya. Good cards in common. Healer's Hawk is definitely excellent. Getting a Mentor counter on this card is really great. 1 mana is very cheap, so if you play this on 1 and curve out with a card like Sunhome Stalwart, this already becomes a huge threat. Veil Shade I wouldn't mind as a fine win condition in Dimir. Pairs well with cards like Pass Wall Adept, and in the late game you can use this as a way to pump and then use as a win condition. But really the strongest card in this pack has to be Sunhome Stalwart. So I guess we can, once we take this up, we can debate between whether we want to be in Dimir or Selesnya and Boros. So definitely the strongest card here that I'm going to pick. So let's take it. Now looking at this pack, what is there? Crawl Harpooner is a nice card in Selesnya or Golgari. Enters the battlefield, fights a target creature. which can be nice, can take out those pesky Healer's Hawks, can trade itself off for another flyer. And also, 2 mana 3/2 is pretty solid. There's Stod Erasure as a good Dimir card as well. Turn 2, you can get a card for a card basically and Surveil 1, which is pretty nice. There's a Healer's Hawk. If I want to go move into Boros, and it pairs well with the Sunhome Starward as an excellent flyer and evasive creature and threat. Devious Cover Up, which is solid if I pick up 2 of them. What else is there? There's a Volgic Bodyguard, which is an excellent 3-drop in Boros. Notion Rain is pretty solid in Dimir. Hypothesis, we can potentially splash for if we enter Dimir. So a lot of good options in this pack. So we didn't pick up any single black card, so I don't know if it's a Crawl Harpooner. We could move into Selesnya, but it's slightly weaker compared to Boros, so maybe this isn't a good option for us. Body ratio would be fine with the Dimir Spybug. Healer's Hawk is excellent as a 1-drop. 1/1 evasive flyer, gains a bit of life, and with Sunhome Starward. As a 2-drop, this can be potentially very powerful as a card to curve out with. Volgic Bodyguard is also an excellent card in Boros. Definitely a card that you are looking to play. 3 mana 3/3 with Mentor is incredibly potent. Notion Rain is decent as well. Hypothesis, we would be on a splash, so maybe not consider. So really just between these 4 cards. And I think Boros is just slightly more powerful than Dimir in this set. Might just consider taking the Wojek or the Healer's Hawk. Healer's Hawk will give us more options, of course, to maybe move into Selesnya. And I'm fine maybe taking Healer's Hawk even over Volgic Bodyguard, because having this on 1 and then Sunhome Stalwart is just insane, pretty much, and having a 2/2 Healer's Hawk in the air is definitely very powerful, and you want lots of 1 and 2 drops in Boros. And even Selesnya, this is a really nice combo. So I think I'm leaning towards Healer's Hawk, and sticking to white for now. Seems quite reasonable. And any good Boros cards? Not really. I think all these cards are okay. Even Disdainful Stroke is okay in Dimir. Might just lean towards a Generous Stray and move towards Selesnya. I could just still keep my options open and maybe take Disdainful Stroke in case I want to be in Dimir. There's also Fire Urchin, which is a nice mentor target in Boros. Even though this card is kind of Izzet flavored, it's better off in a Boros deck regardless. Simply because it's better to put mentor counter onto this, and have this being a permanent threat is really nice. But I'm a big fan of Generous Stray. 3 mana, 1/2 cycle self draws a card, so we can move a little bit slightly towards Selesnya. Like, I don't feel bad passing up a Disdainful Stroke, which is a potentially decent card in Dimir. It's quite conditional, but still only okay. I wouldn't mind gambling on a Generous Stray here, just simply because it seems like the best card in this pack overall. So let's take it here. Alright, now what? Guess there's a Skyline Scout, if as an excellent 2-drop, can gain a bit of evasion while it's attacking. Veil Shade, Spell Centipede are okay cards in Dimir. But I think I'm happy taking a Skyline Scout here. Just good 2-drops are hard to find, and I guess we could try to lean towards Boros and Selesnya now with this. There's also Cosmic Triangle Wave as a fine finisher in Boros, but I'm still liking the flexibility in case Selesnya is open, and Skyline Scout is an excellent 2-drop, so happy taking the Skyline Scout here. Alright, now what? I guess we can pick up that Cosmic Triangle Wave in case we move into Boros. The Selesnya cards, these are kind of like mopey, like 3 mana 2/2 Vigilance. I guess Pack's Favor can be an okay combat trick. The only Dimir card is probably like Dowser, but I think our ship on Dimir might have sailed. So I don't mind Cosmic Triangle Wave as a fine finisher in Boros, a way to get through for a bunch of damage, potentially ping off those 1 toughness creatures if that situation occurs. Alright, maybe the Guildgate helps. There's Hunted Witness as a mentor target, but I think I'm fine taking the Boros Guildgate here. And now I guess we can take our Fire Urgent as a mentor target for potentially for Boros. I think we're gonna move out Demir for now. All of our cards have been pretty okay so far in the packs, besides like maybe Healer's Hawk, Sunhome Stalwarts, and Demir Spybug. And the rest of the Demir cards were pretty okay as well. Nothing significant, like an Artful Takedown. There was a Thought Erasure that we passed up, and a I forgot the other Demir card, Notion Rain. So, I mean, really, I think we could have been either Boros, Selesnya, or Demir, and I think our picks would have been quite mediocre. In this pack, I guess I can just take the Fire Urgent as a fine mentor target, can become a potential 2-3, and I think that has a little bit more upside than a Mopi 2-2 in Boros. Not a big fan of Lockets in Boros, of course, or in Selesnya, since Selesnya you're looking to Convoke. Boros you're just looking to play a bunch of early drops and smack down on the opponent and beat down, so I think I'm going to take a Fire Urchin as a decent 2-drop. Now I don't mind a Rebel Belt Runner, Rebel Belt Boar as a solid 4-drop in Boros. Can be great on creatures that tend to mentor, increasing their attack power and then making it much easier for them to mentor into higher power creatures. With my Bargain Sergeant as a decent 5-drop as well, but gotta take the Rebel Belt Boar here. Nothing much. Just take this for the... well, it's some okay Demir flavor card. Maybe a Selesnya Guildgate can be possible in case we open something like Tristani or Camaraderie that we can splash for. I think the ship on Demir has sailed. Or is it, I guess, IZZET? Is it? Not is it? I'm not, no pun intended. So, yeah, Selesnya Guildgate. Now, I guess in our Fire Urgent, decent 2-drop that we can mentor on. Can make a case for Hammer Dropper, but, you know, at 2 toughness, it can be easily killed, and it's quite expensive for a Boros card. Maybe a Pack Beast as a solid Curve Topper, in case we need one. Right, so moving on to the second pack, what can we use? We can use slightly a little bit more 2-drops. We could use more removal like Luminous Bonds. Maybe there's a Conclave Tribunal. We can use some 3-drops, especially cards like Blade Instructor, maybe a Rock Charger if we're lucky enough to open one. So yeah, looks like we're gonna stick to Boros for now. Think this is a decent core base, not that amazing, but hopefully our packs give us some luck. And what do we open? Don't mind a Justice Strike as an excellent removal spell at instant speed. Is it possible that we move back into perhaps Selesnya? I mean, I guess it's still possible, but we'll be cutting 4 cards, which are solid in Boros. I think Justice Strike is just a solid enough removal spell that it's fine here. There's also Blade Instructor, which I wouldn't mind. A Direct Current, which is a solid removal spell as well, but I think I prefer Justice Strike being instant speed, and we're looking to play in Boros, and cheaper as well. Doesn't require double red. So happy taking Justice Strike here. Parhuman Patrol is a solid 4-drop. Other great cards in this pack. Nothing for us, I guess. I mean, Sworn Companion is okay, but it's looking mostly in like a card in Selesnya. So Watch in the Mist as the most powerful card, so it would have been a nice Demir flavored card. But fine picking up Parhuman Patrol. Pretty solid mentor creature, especially with all these Fire Urchins. And now what? Nothing for us. Don't think I need 2 intrusive Pack Beasts. Flight of the Equinox is a card you want to be playing in Selesnya, which we might be, I guess, still, if we cut off a red and we can splash a Justice Strike. Pretty hard splash commitment, I guess. I guess Take Heart can be an okay combat trick, but I prefer maybe a Sure Strike, which can give a creature first strike. I don't think I'm really convoking off like the Equinauts in this deck, and I think we're really committed to Boros, so it's really between Guild Gates and the Take Heart, and I think I prefer to Take Heart, to be honest. Lots of Guild Gates can be a little bit awkward in Boros, simply because you don't want too many tapped lands for the most part. You just want to curve out, and I don't mind Take Heart as a nice one mana combat trick. Can usually make a favorable trade occasionally, and push enough damage to kill the opponent. So fine taking it here, and now Blade Instructor looks decent. Also, there's a Fresh Face Recruit as a nice 2-drop, 2/1 First Striker, which is pretty decent. But we do have a whole lot of 3, and Blade Instructor makes a nice mentor target for cards like Fire Urchin to curve out into, and Sunhome Stalwart. So definitely taking it here. Nothing here. Maybe Maniacal Rage. Another Selesnya Guildgate, perhaps. Not a big fan of Maniacal Rage, but it can be feasible. So let's try it out here. Especially Mentor can be decent. Another Blade Instructor looks solid here. Definitely taking it over nothing for us. Another Parhealing Patrol looks fine. Our fours again we could use another 4-drop, I guess. So I guess we can take it here over maybe like a Smeltwort Minotaur. Like, I mean, I guess this card can still be fine in a Boros deck, but we're looking to be playing heavy creatures, and we're not looking like a spell-based deck. So I think I'm fine taking another Parhealing Patrol as an excellent flyer, way to mentor into those 1 power creatures. So let's take it here. Rebel Boar, another okay 4-drop. We might end up cutting one, but we'll see. Another Blade Instructor looks solid. Maybe we end up playing Sworn Companion, who knows. Nothing too interesting here. Color for the sideboard, I guess. Now we take a 2-drop. Alright, so looking at a 3rd pack, what can we use? We could use a little bit more combat tricks, of course. Some removal. 3s are looking fine. 4s are looking stacked. We could use definitely a lot more better 2-drops. Some Healer's Hawk as 1-drops. So yeah, shaping out as a pretty okay Boros deck. Nothing too amazing, but fine nonetheless. So let's move on. Ooh, Conclave Tribunal is definitely excellent. There's also Luminous Bonds, which is great. What else is there? I wouldn't mind it for nice Shieldmate, but I think it just has to be Conclave Tribunal. Picking this definitely over Luminous Bonds, because you can definitely get a discount on this. Tapping a creature, playing a creature, tapping it, and then taking on a creature. So Conclave Tribunal is really nice. Also Exiles, so the creature doesn't stay on the battlefield. Definitely taking it here. Hoping to wield the Luminous Bonds, maybe. Another Sunhome Stalwart looks excellent. There's also Luminous Bonds for a little bit more removal, but I think I like the Sunhome Stalwart. It's pretty crazy curving this out. Ooh, there's also Runaway Steamkin, never mind. But we're looking more heavy white than red as of currently. And this requires a lot more red spells to grow. So I think I'm liking the Sunhome Stalwart as another excellent 2-drop to curve out into. Plays well with the Blade Instructor. Sorry, there's a message. One moment. Alright, nothing much here. We could use another removal spell like Luminous Bonds, but I think Sunhome Stalwart is just better. Like, it's a pretty scary creature to have on the battlefield. We do have Fire Urgent to mentor into Healer's Hawk and Sworn Companions, and then we can even follow up with a Blade Instructor to put counters on this card. So definitely looking solid here. So yeah, over the interaction spell, and we do have like a combat trick, double Justice Strike, and a Conclave Tribunal. But yeah, I could use another excellent 2-drop, and Sunhome Stalwart seems like the clear pick here over the Runaway Steamkin, which we're looking to be heavy white, so might not get a lot of triggers going. So let's take the Sunhome Stalwart here, move on. Excellent. Luminous Bonds is definitely great. Could use another removal spell, I think, over a pretty good 2-drop, another 4-drop, so going to take the Luminous Bonds here. We just passed up on 2 of them, the one being in the first pack, the one afterwards, and this one here, so it looks like it's pretty open. Now I wouldn't mind a Goblin Banneret as a nice 1-drop. There's also a Direct Current, which is solid for a deck, but again, we're looking to be heavy white, so we're not going to have double red too often, so casting this Direct Current doesn't seem that great, while Goblin Banneret is definitely a good 1-drop in Boros aggro. You can potentially pump this and then make this into 3-power Mentor onto our turn 2 Sunhome Stalwarts. So on turn 3, this can be a very powerful card. It's also a great card to mentor into with some Sunhome Stalwarts, so definitely the pick here. Could use the Demotion as a kind of a pseudo removal spell. So we can just kind of build our deck here. I guess we can cut a Sworn Companions. I think I like the 4-drops here. Can choose some back beast and get a creature out of the way. I guess I can cut the Maniacal Rage since it's a little bit slow and not that great for the most part. I could use a upgrade, a better 2-drop over the 10th District Guard, and this is a good 2-drop, so I think I can take the Fresh Face Recruit here, cut the 10th District Vet Guard because it looks like a pretty bad 2-drop, and just take the Fresh Face Recruit, because we're looking to play lots of 2s and 1-drops, so it makes sense to take it here, and it's a great mentor target for Blade Instructor, so yeah, let's take the Fresh Face Recruit here. I guess an Order Goblin as an above average 2-drop seems nice. Can block and attack past those pesky 1 toughness creatures. Seems solid here over the Boros Guild Gate. Could use another Fire Urgent, I guess. Highly doubt we're playing the 3rd one, but who knows. Another part Healing Patrol, but our 4s are looking stacked. I don't think we need another one, but I don't think we're deciding between much of anything here, so we might as well take it. Don't think I'm playing Hammer Dropper. Maybe another Mopi 2-drop. But our deck is just looking like it's built for now. I guess I can take Heart as a combat trick. Yeah, our deck is looking built either way. I'm pretty happy with this current configuration. We have a pretty solid Boros beatdown deck. One moment. Alright, let's do this. Let's cut this Selesnya Guild Gate. How many creatures? 17-6. Is this a 17 land deck? I guess we can still go down to 16 because our curve is looking pretty low, but we have a bunch of these 4-drops. Maybe we can consider going 17 lands. But if we're going 16, I guess all we need to do is add an extra 2-drop, and we should have enough, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have a lot early game going, so I guess 17 lands wouldn't be greedy here. Could we lower our curve? I think I like double Roboboat War and Parhealing Patrol as potential flyers and creatures to mentor onto. Otherwise, if we're going to 16, where we're adding perhaps just another Fire Urchins, like who cares? Maniacal Rage can be okay. Let's try 17 land Boros here. Could be a little bit awkward with all these cheap cards, but we do have like Goblin Banneret as a mana sink, Skyline Scout as a mana sink, and that's about it. So I could cut a land for maybe Maniacal Rage, I guess, or another Fire Urchint. But I think we're good for now. We'll try it out. With 4/4 drops, I think 17 lands can be fine. I think we can definitely get there. We could risk flooding, of course, but yeah, we could risk flooding, I guess. But I mean, with a bunch of 3 drops and 4 drops and Cosmotronic Wave as our finisher, I think it should be fine. 17 lands in this deck. Alright, no 2 drops, but we have our Blade Instructors. Maybe I still keep this. Can be a little bit slightly awkward though, but we do have a removal spell. I guess we keep it. Don't know if I can mulligan down to 6 land hand to 6 cards, so I think it's fine. Should have checked the mana base before we began. My bad. That's another thing I should have considered. Opponent's also in white. Okay, so we have a million Blade Instructors coming up. Could have a 2-drop. Feels bad playing out Blade Instructor and trading off for like a Skyline Scout, but I guess that's just the case if we play nothing but Blade Instructors all day. Could not attack, maybe wait for a turn where I can like Conclave Tribunal. Opponent's also playing Boros here. He could just use Luminous Bonds, I guess, and I'm fine with that. He's hovering over it, so it seems like he might have a removal spell. Do I trade here? I don't think so. Like, trading 2 for 2 damage for 3 doesn't seem worth it. He could just follow with another 2-drop for me to trade into, like this Shieldmate. I could remove it and then get in for 3, but I think I'm fine following up with another Blade Instructor. So let's attack here. He might just trade, which I'm fine. I can just play another one. So it's pretty awkward in this Boros deck that I didn't draw my 2-drops. Kind of Righteous Blow, I guess, that he's keeping up because he did hover over my Blade Instructor. I think I'm fine playing this out over the Rebel Bell Boar. Inspiring Unicorn seems kind of scary. Alright. I think I'm fine maybe just trading this off and then flying up with another Blade Instructor. Maybe we can like tap down the Inspiring Unicorn. Okay, so opponent's just going to take it here, so seems like we can play another Blade Instructor. Can't necessarily Conclave anything yet, but this seems nice. I can play out the Rebel Bell Boar next turn. So do I trade off for this Inspiring Unicorn? That's a good question. Opponent might just be winning the race and will probably stay ahead, but I think I might be fine taking it. But this is 9 damage though, and he can start flying over. And Inspiring Unicorn can be a huge threat, so I think it's fine just trading off maybe. He could have Righteous Blow now. Yeah, but he would fire it off anyways, even if I attack, so at least this gets blocked. Now this can fly over with the Inspiring Unicorn. Well, now I wish I had this 2-drop. So now what? Maybe, I guess Boar and Skyline Scout makes sense here. Attacking for 5. Play Scout, say go. Now if Conclave Tribunal saved up for whatever he keeps back behind. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's still 9 damage, I guess, with this Mentor trigger on Skyline Scout. So the opponent's definitely ahead in the race here. Well, that's pretty annoying, sure. And I'm pretty much dead next turn if he attacks, I guess. Because he has 2 double flyers and Inspiring Unicorn. So it doesn't matter if I Conclave here. I guess I have Justice Strike and Conclave Tribunal. So we can fire off this Tribunal here. I could fire off this Tribunal here, Justice Strike on his turn. Onto the flyer. Like maybe leave back like perhaps a 3/3 behind to block this Inspiring Unicorn. So I could Conclave Tribunal this Intrusive Pack Beast next turn, Justice Strike the 2/2. I mean Justice Strike a flyer, I guess. But it's still 3 damage, I guess, with the Inspiring Unicorn attacking. So I think I need to remove the flyers. So maybe I just attack in with attacking for 6, and he can trade off for a 3/3 or something. And I can chump block the 2 with the 2/1. I could have a pump spell here, and I can punish him with Justice Strike, I guess, if he fires off something. Alright, I think I'm fine letting this happen. Guess now we can Tribunal the Skylight Legionnaire. Say go. Guess we had to chump block with a Skyline Scout to stay alive. Well, Tajik just wins him the game. And this deals damage to itself, so I guess I need to fire off the Justice Strike on the Tajik, and yeah, I think it's just game over here. Simply because he attack with Inspiring Unicorn, make everything 3 power. And I can't really race him ahead. So yeah, pretty awkward deck if you can't get a 2-drop, so I guess we can potentially cut a land for a 2-drop. Just to avoid risking flooding and trying to get our 2-drops out. So I guess I can cut a Plains perhaps. Put out a maybe just another Fire Urchin to mentor onto. And we're slightly favoring white, so I guess I can cut a Mountain for a Plains. I could cut a 4-drop, but I think these 4-drops look pretty solid. So I guess we can just say go again with this deck. It's pretty awkward not getting 2-drops and a bunch of Blade Instructors in your hand. I guess if he didn't play Tajik, I was still stabilized last game. Maybe end up trading a 3/1 if I didn't draw anything. Alright, so we have Fire Urchin on 2, Ornery Goblin on 2, don't necessarily have the planes for the Healer's Hawk, and we're slightly white, and I did adjust the mana base, but I think this is a fine keep. Alright, hopefully we get planes next turn. Would love to play this Sunhome Stalwart. So, opponents in Dimir, radical ideas. Okay, sure. Okay, we have a planes, so now what do we play? I guess I wouldn't mind a Sunhome Stalwart. It could get answered by maybe like a... It can get answered by maybe let's say a dead weights, but I think it's fine playing this out, so I can potentially play 2-drop into Healer's Hot next turn. And the 2/2 First Striker is pretty nice. So you could have dead weight, I guess, but I don't think I play around it, given that we have a single white card. Okay, I could attack Injustice Strike, but I think that's a pretty bad use of mana. So I think I'd like the Healer's Hawk here as a potential mentor target, and maybe Ornery Goblin as a pretty efficient attacker. If he takes out the Healer's Hawk, I won't have anything to mentor into, so maybe the Fire Urchin is decent, but it still can't attack past the 1/3. So I think the Ornery Goblin's better. I can offer a trade with this. Could have did a fake attack with this 2/2, but I don't think it's worth it. To be honest, he's mostly going to block. So now the Sunhome Stalwart can start mentoring onto this Healer's Hawk. And this Ornery Goblin can potentially trade off for his Whispering Snitch. Pretty awkward playing Radical Idea in the Dimir deck. Guess he missed out on his land drop. Guess we can play land here. Attack with everything. Mentor onto Healer's Hawk. Say go. Could Justice Strike if he decides to block the 2/1 to get a blocker out of the way. But I think I'm fine just playing double 2-drop for now. And we're still getting in for 4, so this is pretty nice. Don't think I'm playing around Ritual Soot anytime, so yeah, I'm fine just unloading my hand. It would be pretty devastating if he has it in his hand, but he did miss out on land drops, so he does need double black and Ritual. Dark Blade Agents, okay. So that seems like a fine Justice Strike target. And I think I'm just going to fire it off. I think we're just going to attack with all here. Mentor onto this Fire Urchin. And whatever he blocks with the Dark Blade Agent, we can just Justice Strike and kill. Because this can gain Death Touch and draw cards, so it's potentially much more scarier than a Whispering Snitch. Yeah, before damage, we're going to Justice Strike just to trigger off these Fire Urchins. And this can trample over for 1 damage. So Boros doing Boros things in Guilds of Ravnica again. Alright. Might just be game over here. We'll see. The opponent could flash in like maybe a Capture Sphere, and that can slow me down. Or an Artful Takedown, killing maybe the Fire Urchin and tapping down my Flyer. We'll see. Sure. We still have some good attacks. He could trade off the 1/3, which is I'm fine with. He's still taking 4, which is a lot, so. Still have some Home Stalwart to mentor onto this 1/3. Well, I guess the opponent's keeping up pre-combat removal tricks. would love more Healer's Hawk, so I guess he might have a removal spell. Okay, Artful Takedown. I think that was a bit of a misplay. He forgot to tap just give a creature -4/-4. So yeah, pretty solid Boros deck. A little bit of a questionable plays from my opponent, but happy that we got a win out of this. I'm gonna make a part 2 video, but for now, stay tuned and have a nice day.